What is good, everybody? It's your boy Taco. Today we're back with another video on the main channel. And today, first, say nothing. But we are going to be going over the NFL midseason power rank, my NFL midseason power rankings. 32-1, just give you a quick few sentences about every team and why I put them there. Let's just get right into it. Starting off number 32. In my opinion, without a doubt, the worst team in the league, the Houston Texans. They've just looked bad. I mean, I thought Davis Mills was the guy. He's not the guy. Their running game is all right. Dameon Pierce has been really the only good thing about that entire team. Their defense sucks. In this year, it seems like there hasn't been as many points scored in general as previous years. But Jesus. Sorry. But it just seems like the Texans really, their defense just struggles every game. Team's just bad. Okay. Move on to number 31, a team that's just bad, but they also have like 2 quarterbacks in the cycle and maybe 3 quarterbacks. The Carolina Panthers. This team sucks. They beat Tom Brady and the Bucks, but that's not saying much anymore. And who's their other win? Wasn't the Browns? It was week 2, maybe. Let me look up who their other win was. But while I'm looking at that, the team just really has not been, very, very good. It was the Saints. The team just hasn't been too good. Their defense sucks as well. Most of the teams at the bottom, you'll realize that their defense sucks. And their offense sucks too. And that's pretty much what the Panthers are. You gave up a ton of points to Joe Mixon. You gave up a ton of points to the Falcons. You gave up, let's see, will I have this pulled up? 37 points to the Niners. 42 to the Bengals. 37 to the Falcons. I mean, it just does not look good. Okay, and that's why you're 31. 30. This is really sad. Or not maybe sad, but I project this team to just be right outside of the playoffs, and they really suck. That's the Pittsburgh Steelers. The team just is not, it's not there. There isn't really anything good. We expected Najee Harris to be this top 4 or 5 running back in the league. He sucked. Their receivers have pretty much sucked. They just traded Chase Claypool, which I think was actually a good move. Pat Freiermuth hasn't been good. Their offensive line sucks. And their defense, besides Mink Fitzpatrick, has sucked. Now, luckily, they are getting TJ Watt back, who is maybe one of the most valuable players in the NFL we have seen after what the Steelers have started as without him. But, whew, it's just not looking too good in Pittsburgh. Number 29, we have the Las Vegas Raiders. And there's 2 teams down here in the AFC West that I said weren't going to make the playoffs. And you people called me idiots. And I called you people idiots. And let's agree that you people were the idiots. Because the Raiders really suck. I don't know what it was. I mean, I remember I was saying, like, they went 10-6 last year. They only got better. How are they going to finish worse? Well, I don't know, but it just seemed like it. There's no way that this team should be 2-6. The talent is up here, but the actual level of production, Derek Carr, his stats haven't gotten any better. The passing game hasn't gotten any better with Devontae Adams added. Darren Waller has really just not been it this year. I think he's been out a few games. If he wasn't out a few games, that means that I literally did not hear about him for a few games, which means that's pretty bad. Their O-line, I mean, I haven't judged their O-line, but it probably sucks. Their defense, how has their defense been? I mean, I kind of know the answer to this. It's probably their defense sucks. But let me just look at these games. Yeah, their defense sucks. Okay. But, like, they were really close inside of a few games. I do think 2-6 is a bit of an overstatement. I mean, the Cardinals in overtime, they blew a 20-0 lead. The big thing here is that they blow leads. 17-0 to 30-29 against the Chiefs. 17-0 turning to 27-20 against the Jaguars. I mean, there's some games where they show that they are really like that. I mean, this Texans game is just a great example. They played really well. But otherwise, in all of these games, they just have kind of sucked at the second half. Or in general in the whole game. I mean, you got blown out by the Saints. The Saints are not good. And this team, their schedule, it only really gets harder besides this Broncos game and probably this Colts game that's coming up these next 2 weeks. But it just doesn't look good for that team. We move on. Jeez, these have been taking a while. This is going to be a long video. The Lions, they're 2-6, right? 2-6, 2-6. But they're a much better 2-6 than most. They beat the Packers and beat the Commanders, who are, on the lower half, but they aren't particularly one of these really bottom teams. And, I mean, they competed with the Eagles. They've competed with some teams. They competed with the Seahawks. The Seahawks have turned out to be one of the best teams in the league. They competed with, the first 4 weeks, they were really solid. Their offense was putting up 35 points a game. Yeah, their defense was giving up 35 points a game. But who cares when your offense is getting 35 points a freaking game? Who's that? Week 3, game 2. It had to have been away. It was... I don't got time to do that now. Week 3 was... know what? Forget about it. But the team... was the Vikings. The team has been pretty good. And they've competed with a lot of really good teams. The team has been really good for 2-6, okay? The defense still sucks. The offense, it started off really good, but now it kind of sucks. And DeAndre Swift, who I drafted in fantasy, has not gotten a good workload. So I'm kind of mad at them for that. But, yeah. Number 27 is the Saints. Jeez, this video is going to take forever. I got to go a little bit faster. The Saints suck, and we have their first-round pick. They beat the Raiders, but that was about their only good thing. Their quarterback's hurt, I know. But Michael Thomas is out. Michael Thomas, I would hate to have Michael Thomas on my team. That guy just does not want to play. I mean, Ghetto Gronk stayed at best. Michael Thomas will miss an entire season because of a toe and because of a foot injury that he didn't get surgery for until June when he suffered the injury in January. Brian Robinson got shot twice and missed 4 games. Okay. Played 6 weeks after. But the team in general, it just sucks. The defense sucks. It hasn't looked too good. They're 2-6, but we got their first round pick. That's good. Now we move on to the Bears. The Bears are like that team where they can be something, and that's kind of the thing with Justin Fields. He can be something. I mean, they beat the Niners, but the Niners game was kind of like most times if you're playing in the rain or something really crappy, which was the rain at Soldier Field, the worst team will have the advantage, especially because it was home field advantage, and they've played more games in the rain. I mean, in California, it doesn't rain, so it made sense. But this team has showed hope. I mean, that Dolphins game, they did look really good. They beat the crap out of the Patriots. They beat the Texans by 3. That I would consider a negative. They lost to the fraud Giants. The team just hasn't looked too good. Justin Fields hasn't looked too good. The defense looks okay. I mean, compared to Chicago standards, they're trash. But they've looked okay. Okay? Number 25 is the Broncos. Remember when everybody said, the Broncos are going to the playoffs? And I said, no, they're going to win 6 games. They're probably going to win about 6 games. Okay? This team is not good. Russell Wilson has looked terrible. That, I think, is the big reason why. Their defense the whole team has been all right. The thing is that people have expected Wilson to take that step, and it just didn't take it. Or not to take that step, but to not be bad, and he's been pretty bad. Let's move on to the Packers, who are at 24. This team is a mess. I mean, they're 3-6. They're the Packers, so you know that, like, you can't count them out because they have Aaron Rodgers. But the team just... There's not too much good stuff going on in Green Bay, all right? 23 is the Cardinals. Cardinals are just, like, the one team. They've been really close in a lot of games. It just seems like sometimes they can never pull away, or they make dumb decisions. It just seems like that team has just not been there. But they gave the Eagles probably their biggest scare of the year. So, hats to them. Hats? Props to them. But, team's just not that good. Moving on, the Commanders at 22. The Commanders have actually played some really nice football. They went on that 3-game win streak. They started 1-4. I think Heineke should be the starter and Wentz should be benched forever because, that would just be better for that team. Carson Wentz he just sucks. He didn't have that bad of a year in Indy, but whenever they asked him to move, it was stupid. It was stupid. I didn't get why they wanted to trade him, but now I get why. Because he's not good, okay? That's about it for the Commanders. The team has been alright, okay? It's been alright. We're not at the garbage tier anymore. The Jags are at 21. This team, you really don't know what to think of when you think about the Jags. They're sometimes good, and sometimes they make you wonder, why? How are they 3-6? And then sometimes they make you remember, why they're 3-6. Team looked really promising, especially after beating the Chargers. The team has not been that promising, and they gave the Eagles their second biggest scare. Actually, probably their biggest scare, because game against Arizona, they were never really down. The Browns are 20. The Browns are, okay. They own the Bengals. They've beat the crap out of the Bengals, but that's not really saying much at all anymore. The teams... okay, that's me saying that, they always beat the Bengals. That's not me saying that the Bengals aren't good, okay? But it's just... I don't really know what happened, but Browns, they started really well. They just haven't been that good. They've been in a lot of close games. That's about it. Colts, 19. All right. Matt Ryan, bad. Jonathan Taylor, so far this season, bad. That's about all you can say. I gotta get through these a lot faster. The Falcons are at 18. They were leading their division for a while, but it just looks okay. They're okay. At best, they're okay. They're not really, they're not specifically the best. But they're okay. Their defense sucks, though. Their offense is really good, and their defense sucks. That's something I could say about them. The Patriots at 17. You never really know with the Patriots. Are they really good? Are they really bad? They've had some games where they were really good. They haven't had too many games where they were really bad. They're 4-5. It's okay with the Patriots. But that's kind of what 17, 18, 19, 16, 15 is giving you, is okay. And I know that you were waiting for these two teams at 16, 15. At 16 is the Rams. The only reason why they're not 15 is because they lost to the team that was number 15, the Bucks. Both of these teams haven't looked good. Brady has not looked good. Stafford does not look good. Both of the teams, the NFC, the teams that were supposed to be the 4 through 9 have been really good, have been better than 4 through 9. But the teams that have been 1, 2, and 3 have sucked, and probably none of those 3 are making it to, maybe the Bucks will make the playoffs. None of those 3 will make it into the playoffs. 14, we got the San Francisco 49ers. The team is okay. I mean, you can have Debo, you can have CMC. The quarterback position is still going to hold you back, but the team can definitely make the playoffs. And they're an alright team. They show really good promise, except for whenever they're playing good teams. They're not good against good teams. I mean, you look at this Niners team, they'll beat the crap out of, okay. So, they beat the crap out the Rams, but they get beaten the crap out of by the Chiefs, the Falcons somehow. They beat the crap out of the Rams here. They beat the crap out of the Panthers. They beat the crap out of the Seahawks. That's actually really good. Getting beat by the Broncos by 1 is basically getting beat the crap out of if you were playing a mediocre NFL team. So, I really don't know what to think about this team, except their schedule upcoming is pretty tough, besides the Saints and Cardinals game. But the team is, it's there. It's getting there. Or it's not getting there. It could be really good. It could also be really bad, and they're probably not winning the game once they get inside the playoffs, unless they're playing the Rams, of course. Who's next? The Bengals at 13. I have a list right here. Why was I trying to think on the top of my head? The Bengals at 13, Super Bowl hangover-ish. It seems like they've gotten back on their feet, and then they got stabbed by the Browns. And I really don't know what to think of that team. They're inconsistent. Their offense has been pretty good. Losing Jamar Chase is a big thing, but they've been able to rely on the run game since losing Jamar Chase, and that run game has been great. I would face Joe Mixon in fantasy and only lost by 3 points. If that boy did not put up 55 points, if he put up something normal, 15, 20, I would have beaten the crap out of that guy. He's not good. He's not good in fantasy, and now I'm 3-6. I'm struggling, okay? I'm probably going to make the playoffs because 8 out of the 12 teams make the playoffs, but either way, end of conversation. Bengals have been alright. I don't know why I'm taking a deep breath, this team's struggling, because I've never gotten out of this team struggling. These teams are good now. Speaking about a good team, speaking about a team that has won 4 in a row, let's go to the Seahawks at number 12. Seahawks, really? I don't know how they're so good. I mean, Geno Smith has been great. Kenneth Walker's been good. Their defense hasn't been out of the ordinary, spectacular. Their offensive line sucks, as it always does. Nothing has been insane, but the team just wins games, and you gotta respect the team, and you gotta call the team good, because they're winning the games. Yeah, so I guess they have been pretty good, and that's pretty much the same thing that I can say here for another team that is 6-3, a team that had beaten the Buffalo Bills, a team that had beaten, what's another good team they beat? Not the Packers. A team that has beaten some very good teams. The New York Jets. Again, their quarterback sucks. None of their team specifically is amazing, but their schedule hasn't been specifically terrible. That's one thing, is the Seahawks schedule has been pretty easy. Their schedule has been kind of hard, but they've just found a way to win. They just keep winning. And you gotta give them props. It works. It all kind of works. Moving on to 10, a team in the same division. This team, you could really have them anywhere from, some people could have him at 4. That stupid guy on TikTok, or I know him from Instagram, could put him at 1, all the way to 13, 14. This is the Dolphins. You know that guy who I'm talking about, though. Dolphins. Okay. Without Tua, they've been 0-3, but with Tua, they've been 6-0. Their schedule, it hasn't been the hardest, but they have beaten the Bills. They've been pretty good in most aspects of the game. Tyreek Hill, amazing. But at the same time, you shouldn't be having super close games with teams like the Steelers, teams like the Bears, teams that are not that good, okay? But, you know, I mean, they're going to make the playoffs. They're going to do pretty well in the playoffs. It's, you know, you never... End of conversation. Number 9, you got the Giants. Do they deserve to be 6-2? No. Are they still a pretty good team that beat the Ravens? I keep, like, thinking in my head, like, oh, they beat the Packers. That's really good. Now, there's been enough teams that beat the Packers where beating the Packers is normal because the Packers are trash. The Giants, I mean, they just kept winning. And there wasn't really a way to stop it. They've not lost to a team that wasn't the Seahawks or Cowboys. I don't know where I was going with that. They're good. They are good. And both the teams that they lost to are good teams. I mean, they beat the teams that were worse than them on their schedule. And they beat them by a good amount. And they beat some pretty good teams. Moving on to number 8, we got the Chargers. This team is 5-3. I don't know how they're 5-3. I feel like that team should be like 3-5. The way that I've seen, like, you know, the way that some of their games have gone in their favor. But the games that they're supposed to win, they win convincingly. The games that they lose, I mean, you lost the Seahawks. You can't do that. Herbert getting a little bit overrated, but, you know, he's not a bad quarterback. He's just getting a little bit overrated. It's been all right for the Chargers. I do think that they can step up. Austin Eckler has been amazing as always. They're going to get those receivers back. They're going to do really well come playoff time. Number 7's the Cowboys. Do I want to put them up this high? No. Do I have to put them up this high? Yeah, kind of. Now, I hate your fan base because your fan base thought that you were going to beat the Eagles all week and that Cooper Rush was God, and then we made Cooper Rush look bad, and then you kept saying, oh, you just lost to a backup quarterback. Well, that's because we made Cooper Rush look bad, you stupid idiots. Oh, my God, their fans suck. Their fans are terrible. The team is okay. I really like Tony Pollard. I think Tony Pollard's way better than Zeke. Dak will do Dak things, and Dak is pretty good. The receiving core is alright. I don't think Michael Gallup's going to be that good. Has he returned yet? He might have returned yet, but if he had returned, it means I haven't heard about him returning, which means he hasn't been good. Their defense has been really the key of their team. And then they face the Eagles, and they talk so much crap, and you still lost, you stupid organization. Jeez, I hate the Cowboys so much. But they have to be this high. I mean, I have to be unbiased here. But most people are putting them at 4-5. They do not deserve to be at 4-5. Okay? They are number 7. That's good. Number 6, we got the Tennessee Titans. Tennessee Titans, they've won 5 in a row, and then they lost that game to Kansas City, which was pretty close. Their team has really found their identity, which for some reason they lost the first 2 weeks, which was run the heck out of the ball. But they've been a really good football team these past 2 weeks. A good enough team to, not to win. To win. I don't know where I was going with that. Their defense has been good enough for them to win games. Their offense has been good enough for them to win games. Their quarterback has been out, and their rookie quarterback has not done crap. Their backup quarterback sucks. But, hey, you need to have him, and for what he was supposed to do, I guess, he sucked. He has sucked. But the team has been able to rally around him and win. You guys hear that? I don't know what that is. Number 5, we got the Ravens. The Ravens, they won 3 straight. The games that they lost, yeah, they've allowed comebacks, which is not a good thing. But they've lost to some pretty good teams. They had a pretty hard opening schedule, but now they've been playing the lesser teams, the 19 through 27 teams, and they've been all right. the team in general is really good, and I think that the style, the way that they play, especially their defense has been really good. Their offense has been really good. That's why they deserve to be here. And, I mean, everybody knows the top four. It's a combination of the Bills, the Eagles, the Chiefs, and the Vikings. It's not the order that they're put in, though. And at number 4, I got the Chiefs. Most people think that it's just, the Eagles, Chiefs, and Bills are like those top 3 dogs. I actually think that the Vikings have taken over into that list. But the Chiefs, number 4, I mean, you were winning games, and you've won those games. You're still winning games. You beat the Titans. It wasn't convincing. It wasn't a very good game. But you beat them. You beat some good teams. It wasn't convincing, but you beat them. You beat the crap out of the Bucks. So, yeah, you convincingly beat them. You beat the crap out of the Niners. What are some other, like, important games? You win, okay? You win, and you win at a good enough rate to where people don't get mad. The thing is that so many people expect this team to drop off significantly. You knew this team wasn't going to drop off significantly. That trade, both teams have won because Trent McDuffie has looked like a stud, but Tyreek Hill has looked like a mega stud. Anyways, the team has been really good, and sneaking in at number 3 is the Vikings. They have the second best record in the league, and you can't judge them for that. And their only loss came to the team with the first best record in the league. And their quarterback sucks on primetime, and that was in primetime. But they just win games, okay? And you don't need to be a really, you don't have to be a super good team if you win football games. But you have to be good enough to win those football games. And that's what they've done. Justin Jefferson has done his part. Dalvin Cook has done his part. Kirk Cousins has done his part. Stop wearing those stupid chains on the plane ride back. Their defense has definitely done their part. That team is really good. Okay. Moving on to number 2, we got the Bills. Yes, I know. They're 6-2. Their losses have come to the Dolphins and the Jets. They haven't won an in-division game, but they've won all the games outside of their division. They've been solid. But if you can't win those in-division games, which is what really counts, you can't be at the top. Some weeks, you're like, how is this team this good? And then other weeks, they beat teams 38-3, like they did to the Steelers, and you're like, this team is really that good. But sometimes the team isn't really that good. But a team that is consistently really that good. I mean, maybe not really that good like the Bills have been, but that good every week of the season. Hasn't dropped lower than 20 points yet this year. Hasn't allowed more than 35. Besides the 35, hasn't allowed more than 22 points. 22 points this year. The Eagles, the Philadelphia Eagles, are my number 1 team. He's biased, whatever. We're 8-0. We're undefeated. We made fan bases because everybody hates Philadelphia. We make everybody think that they're going to beat us. And then whenever they do beat us, they make stupid excuses. I'm talking to you, Dallas. I'm talking to only you, Dallas. Shut up, Dallas. Nobody likes you. Your stupid organization, your stupid owner. I learned that he's only 80 years old. So he's got like 20 years left to live. I mean, that's not a terrible thing. But it's not a good thing. Sorry. But the Eagles have just been like that. Jalen Hurts has been like that. The scheme in general for the whole team has just ran perfectly. Their defense is ran perfectly. Their defense is played perfectly. The team is amazing. Woo! That's going to be it for this video. I hope you guys enjoyed. That's going to be it for this video. I hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, make sure that you go drop a like and subscribe to the channel. And I will see you in the next one, which will not be in another 8 weeks. I hope. Peace.